Okay, everyone, welcome back to Independence Corner. I like that name. It really works out. So last time we watched what the CDC, we learned what the CDC versus the WHO was. So, I stay away from a lot of the stuff that goes on in this thing, in society. Okay, I'm not going to say thing, but in society, a lot of the stuff that, a lot of people didn't grow up with some of this stuff. Okay. Like today we're going to learn what the difference is between misinformation and disinformation. Now, a lot of people use that to try to control people. So we're going to learn the difference. Okay. We're going to learn the difference and I'm going to comment and we're going to use logic here. Okay. So because a lot of people say they want to be educated about things or informed about things. You rather be informed. Well, this is the type of things that we should be informed of. Okay. I think. Opinion. Let's go.
There's a lot of information on the internet, but not all of it is factual. You have probably heard the terms misinformation and disinformation, but what are the differences between them? According to the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, the key is intent. Misinformation refers to false information that is not intended to cause harm. For example, a family member accidentally shares false information about vaccines. Disinformation is false information that is intended to manipulate, cause damage, or guide people, organizations, and countries in the wrong direction. This includes propaganda from foreign countries and other actors, often weaponized and meant to provoke emotional responses and sow confusion.
Okay, to me, that sounds about the same. It's just one's at a larger scale and one at a smaller scale. Let's say you misinformation to your family members about the vaccine. And then disinformation is at a larger scale with governments. Sounds the same. It's just at a larger scale.
Disinformation has been around for a very long time, in fact, centuries. But we've really seen sort of this modern phase of disinformation being used very widely, both by foreign authoritarians who want to deceive us, who want to manipulate us.
So often when you're looking for something like disinformation or misinformation, you have to identify what's the source of it. And some of it is going to come from state level actors, some of it will come from communities, often who consider themselves to be truth seekers, but there's also online grifters and other people with their own agendas who are spreading misinformation and disinformation.
Social media has just made this all so much easier for those that do want to deceive us to disseminate that information. The ability for anyone to publish any sort of information that they want to. And I think our failure as a society to inoculate citizens so that they have a better understanding of the information that they're consuming, to have those critical cognitive filters that allow them to sort of pick out the information that they're seeing and to make sure that they're questioning whether it's the sources or some of the claims that are being made.
Okay, misinformation. The information that someone gave you that was not correct. I can see that being, uninformed correctly. Uninformed correctly. Misinformation. It's what it is, okay. But it's intended not to be harmful. Like when someone gives you the information about the vaccine, I don't understand what that would mean. Okay, I'm not going to say I don't understand, but if someone said, oh, the news comes on at 6 and it actually comes on at 6:30, would that be misinformation? Or that would be just, I didn't think about it. Okay, I guess that would be misinformation. That's unharmful. So can disinformation be at a lower scale of misinformation? Because it seems like certain things misinformation are using to be harmful. They're saying, I've heard some things that say, oh, misinformation, you're not allowed to do that. You can't do that. You're misleading people. And, they're throwing those words around like they have...
in those pieces that they're consuming on social media.
In an Abacus data survey commissioned by CPAC, 84% of respondents said they were concerned about the spread of misinformation and disinformation, with 42% blaming social media for spreading it. As concerns increase about the spread of misinformation and disinformation, 1 in 5 Canadians are turning to non-traditional media for their news, and more than 7 out of 10 respondents were somewhat or very concerned about the state of democracy in Canada.
Watch and read more about disinformation, cyberbullying, and
disinformation, all this stuff. Okay, some people aren't strong enough mentally to take information for face value, as far as, okay, if you tell me something and it doesn't sound right to me, if you say, okay, well, the bus comes at 3:30. Okay, the bus comes at 3:30. You say the bus comes at 3:30. I'm going to take it upon myself not to show up at 3:30, but to be there at an earlier time so that the information that you gave me has time to process over that span of time, if that makes sense. So when 3:30 comes and the bus doesn't show up, I didn't miss the bus. So now I have room to wait for a little longer. Now I come to find out that the bus showed up at 4. Hey, the bus showed up at 4. Oh, yeah. I forgot. It's 3:30 on Sundays or Saturdays or something. Okay, well, that was just information that you left out, you forgot or whatever. I'm not going to be mad about that. That's my own discretion. Okay, well, if you start using it in a political manner, like, okay, this person is going to do this person is going to do that, and then I take it and I say, I can't believe they're going to do that. And I just take the information for what it is as you give it to me. Where does that lie? I can take myself logically. What I should do is, with the information that I'm given, is to do my own research, to find out, to come to my own conclusion, to be able to say, I want this information, and I took this information and I ran and I went down a little rabbit hole with it, and I found out and I came to my logical conclusion to it, which makes sense to me. So I think that people should take information and come to their own conclusion. Always do your own research. But there are some people who don't want to do their own research and that are, I don't want to say lazy, but they just don't want to go down that hole and do the research to find out if this is what it is and this is what it is and that what it is. So I don't know. I really didn't get much out of this video. It was short. It was, okay, disinformation, and then you said misinformation is about the pandemic, or the that time. And the disinformation was pretty much on a bigger scale. Okay, see, it says disinformation and democracy. Okay, so I'm not going down a rabbit hole with this. I'm still on the whole CDC thing. Maybe this might all come together and I might come to a conclusion with something, but the rabbit hole background information I'm going to be doing on is with the CDC and, there, because I found some stuff that I want to look into. So I'm going to go there. Like, if you saw that video, if you haven't, please go back and watch it and then comment on there, because if you want to join me on that rabbit hole, you can. That'd be awesome. But this misinformation, I never really got into it, because the word misinformation to me sounds like people just giving you the wrong information because they forgot or they just speculated, or this is what they really know. And it's like, okay, well, this was the information before, but now it's changed. Is that still considered misinformation if this is how you knew something and then it changed without you knowing? I don't know. I don't want to get into a rabbit hole with all this, but leave your comments down in the comment section and let me know what you feel, what you think. If you've seen that other video, the CDC video, go back and watch it. I really encourage you to watch that video. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this. I'm going to be doing, some of them are educational. You can take it for what it is. Not everything that I'm reading or not everything that I get into is going to be 100% factual. Take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. Always do your own research. Don't ever take anything that I say or anything that I view or review or do a reaction to for, 100%. Like if I do a video and you're like, oh, well, I seen this on this video, it's doing this, da, 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 da. Okay, yeah, take it and move on with it and come to your own conclusion. Always do your research. Always do your research. There's masses and masses amounts of information online, offline, just do your own research. Okay. It's just like a library of books everywhere. Even books do not have the correct information without you going to another source and putting the puzzle pieces together to come to the conclusion that you feel comfortable with. Okay. That you understand, that's logical for you. Okay. Because everybody lives in a different reality. So with that being concluded, thank you for staying here. If you're still here, make sure you subscribe. That is very important to keep doing these videos. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Stay independent.